Adapting works to different media can be a real challenge. For example, what works in a manga doesn't necessarily work in an anime. Junji Ito's works are a good example of this. So while adapting, it is usually necessary to make some changes to accommodate for the strengths and weaknesses of that specific media. The real problem arises when the ones adapting start changing character motivations, their characteristics, and even entire arcs. A good example of this is Tokyo Ghoul. If you have only seen the anime, you might think it is quite good. I held the same view until I read the manga. After reading it, I realized just how horrible the anime is. You could somewhat excuse the small changes, but Route A completely destroys Kaneki's character and the plot is unrecognizable. However, today we will not be talking about Tokyo Ghoul. I'm sure there are many videos already addressing it. The failures of this adaptation are more subtle. We will be talking about Heaven Official's Blessing. I'm gonna stop you right here. If you haven't read this book, go do that. It is amazing. It's only 2000 pages long, you'll be done in no time. Or at least go watch the donghua. It is gorgeous. We will be talking spoilers, so you have been warned. Heaven Official's Blessing is a danme by MXTX. I will not even try to pronounce her full name, and I apologize in advance for butchering all of the other names. I am trying my best here. Heaven Official's Blessing has been adapted into a manhua, a donghua, and an audio drama. All of them are still ongoing. Today, we will be focusing mainly on the manhua and the donghua. For those who don't know, a manhua is basically a Chinese manga, and a donghua is basically a Chinese anime. It might sound strange to anime and manga lovers, but in this case, the donghua is by far the superior adaptation. Let me explain. First of all, let's discuss the main characters of the novel. Here we have Xie Lian and Hua Cheng. Xie Lian is a disgraced god that collects scraps for a living. On the surface, he is very cute, very friendly. He is also the laughingstock of the heavens. While on the other hand, Hua Cheng is a ghost king. He is extremely powerful and extremely rich. He is feared in all three realms. And what is their relationship? They are in love, Your Honor. I trust that from this short description, you already get the picture of their relationship. Well, that picture is wrong. Even though most characters in the book don't realize it, Xie Lian is crazy strong. He will be kicking down walls like it is nothing. During the events of the book, his spiritual powers are sealed, yet he is still stronger than most of the gods. He beat 33 gods who had weapons, by the way, with only a stick. A stick! And at the end of the book, he becomes the #1 martial god. He is also the only god that has ascended 3 times. And if you think he is pure and innocent in this relationship, well, think again. He came this close to wiping an entire country off the face of the earth out of revenge. He is capable of that. The reason he didn't succeed isn't because he failed, it's because he changed his mind. He has been alone for 800 years. Yes, he has no regards for his own well-being. Yes, he has gotten hurt so many times that he basically no longer feels pain. But he is more than capable of handling anything the world throws at him. And his weapon is Roya. It is a white silk ribbon. It looks cute and innocent, right? Well, it was born from pain and death. Xie Lian isn't this innocent damsel in distress. Then we have Hua Cheng. Yes, he is a crazy strong ghost king. Yes, he caused the deaths of 33 gods. But what most people forget is that he didn't directly unalive them. He challenged 35 gods to a duel. If they won against him, he would give them his ashes, basically his life. If he won, they would have to step down from heaven. 33 of the gods accepted. He fought the martial gods and debated with the civil gods and utterly defeated them all. However, the gods refused to honor their agreement, so Hua Cheng burned down their temples. And every time their followers built a new temple, he would burn that to the ground as well. And without their worshippers, the gods simply faded away, never to return. And Hua Cheng did nothing wrong here. The gods were the cocky ones who agreed to the conditions and then refused to follow the agreement. Hua Cheng followed his part of the agreement perfectly. The two gods that refused to duel, He left him alone, more or less. The most important part of his character is his love for Xie Lian. But this love is very unique. I haven't seen any other like it before. He is devoted to Xie Lian. Hua Cheng would be happy to just be near Xie Lian and be of service to him. His dream is only Xie Lian. It is the definition of unconditional love. And do you know how his weapon was born? He risked his life to protect a group of people. He ripped out his eye and created a Ming in order to protect these random humans. While Xie Lian's weapon was born out of death, his was born out of life. Now that you know the basics, let's see how they are portrayed in the manhua and the donghua. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. The manhua is absolutely gorgeous. Star Amber can definitely draw. I mean, look at it. This is not a poster, this is a page from the manhua. It is stunning. However, the first problem I have is character design. In the book, Hua Cheng's true form is described as being a tall and lean youth around 20 years old. Xie Lian only notices that he is firm and muscular during the coffin scene. If you know, you know. You've already seen the donghua design. I have no complaints about it. On the other hand, this is the manhua design. Why is he so buff? Why is he so wide? Like, he looks hot, but that is not how he is described in the books. And you might think that this doesn't really matter. However, Xie Lian is drawn as being very feminine, which is okay, he is a bit androgynous in the novel. They did slap a dress and some makeup on him, and he easily passes a woman. However, when you put these two character designs together, it starts painting the same picture you probably got when I first described it to you. The weak and feminine one in the relationship and the big, strong, muscular man. In the donghua, on the other hand, they look like equals, like they are supposed to be in the novel. But that's just the character design. Let's move to the actual plot. The first red flag is at the very beginning. In a vacuum, I didn't think much of it. Yes, I was sad that they cut out the scene, but it is what it is. However, this marks the beginning of a trend. In the donghua and the novel, Xie Lian dresses as a bride to try and catch a ghost. He is riding in a palanquin when they are attacked by Bino, who are basically zombies. The donghua shows Nanfeng and Fuyao, who are heavenly officials, getting tired fighting them. And then Xie Lian sends out Rouya and single-handedly defeats the Bino. This is one of the first times in the book that you see just how strong and capable Xie Lian is. And the manhua completely omits the scene. It cuts straight to Hua Cheng fighting him. But you know what it doesn't cut out? Hua Cheng protecting them from wolves. It cuts out Xie Lian's badass scene, but keeps Hua Cheng's. Moving on, the next scene I am going to talk about is the scene that made me not want to read the manhua. Xie Lian's and Lang Chanchu's fight. Basically, Lang Chanchu thinks that Xie Lian killed his entire family out of revenge. As we later find out, this isn't entirely true, but it isn't fully wrong either. Xie Lian used to be Lang Chanchu's guaxi, or, in other words, his teacher, so Lang Chanchu knows how strong Xie Lian is, yet he still challenges him to a duel. And then Xie Lian says one of the most badass lines. "If you fight me, you will surely die." All of the adaptations keep this scene, which is great. Later, Lang Chanchu confronts Xie Lian again and demands a duel, and this time Xie Lian agrees. He tells Hua Cheng to let him handle it and gets ready to fight. This is how the manhua handles it. Xie Lian and Lang Chanchu rush towards each other, and then Hua Cheng turns Lang Chanchu into a Daruma doll. That's it. Like, what? Xie Lian says to let him handle it, and Hua Cheng still interferes, and then they just go on their merry way. I want to scream. I literally want to scream. Because just listen to this quote from the novel, from the end of the novel. Then, after a pause, he added, "But only His Highness can decide on whatever he chooses. I will never oppose his decisions." Like, how the manhua portrayed this directly goes against what Hua Cheng says in the novel. So let's see how that scene was supposed to play out. Lang Chanchi is so focused on Xie Lian, ready to fight, that he doesn't notice Roya and gets tied up before their swords can even clash. He throws a tantrum and says that Xie Lian cheated. Xie Lian, on the other hand, responds with, "So what if I cheated? If this was a real fight, you would be dead." I love this scene. It oozes with character. It shows how smart Xie Lian is and how resourceful he is, and that he isn't afraid to fight dirty and doesn't care what other people think about him. And that isn't all. That you have a talk and Lan Chanchi says that he won't become full of resentment, and that he will never become like Xie Lian. And when you have read the entire novel, you know just how hard-hitting that comment is for Xie Lian. I mean, look at Xie Lian's reaction to that comment. And only then does Hua Cheng turn Lan Chanchi into the Ruma doll. The manhua cut out so much of Xie Lian's character here. I mean, look how sassy he is here. And also, Hua Cheng doesn't interfere. He trusts Xie Lian. Also, I just love that the donghua added these Hua Cheng scenes where he's admiring Xie Lian. They're just, I love it. I'll be honest, there are scenes in the novel where Hua Cheng acts against Xie Lian's wishes, but when he does that, he basically becomes a scared little kid and asks Xie Lian if he's mad at him, which is completely different than what happened with this scene in the manhua. Hua Lian's relationship is beautiful because Xie Lian doesn't need saving. He can handle it himself, but Hua Cheng helps him nonetheless. He goes with Xie Lian and supports him in any way he can. And Xie Lian never abuses this. Xie Lian could tell Hua Cheng to jump off a cliff, and Hua Cheng would do it. But Xie Lian would never ask this. It's beautiful. I might make a full video only discussing their relationship. There are so many beautiful quotes in the book and so many tender moments. I just can't. Back to the topic. The problem of feminizing Xie Lian and buffing Hua Cheng doesn't originate in the manhua. A part of the fandom, a large part actually, does this also. It's actually a pain to find a fanfic where Xie Lian isn't this damsel in distress that needs saving. A lot of them do portray Xie Lian as somewhat strong, but they still put him in situations where he can't do anything and only Hua Cheng can save him. And that's fine. Fans can have their headcanons, but it is not fine when an official adaptation does this. Anyways, I have no idea how to wrap this video up, so just go read the book, or at least watch the donghua. It's an amazing adaptation, and the animation is gorgeous. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Bye!